My last job was working as a part-time delivery driver for a Chinese takeaway. That was around 10 years ago in 2014. I was 27 and I really lacked direction in my life. I was single, still lived at home with my parents and had a few grand in savings. I had nothing to fall back on. I didn't go to university and I didn't have qualifications for anything. All I knew was that I wanted to be financially independent on my own terms. I didn't want to get a proper 9 to 5 job, not because I thought I was too good for it, but because I just didn't fit in. Every 9 to 5 job I had, which wasn't many to begin with, they were utterly soul destroying and drained me of my time and energy. So I just settled for my part-time job, sold some stuff on eBay and ran my little affiliate marketing website to make a bit of extra cash until I figured things out. It wouldn't be long until I did find a way to make a decent stream of income. Now this video is not specifically trading related, it's more to do with my journey of growth personally and financially for the past 10 years that I've been without a job. And if you're currently stuck in the rut and feeling a bit lost in life, hopefully my story will give you some sort of inspiration, because I was also in the same position before and I want to tell you just how quickly things can turn around for the better. So in the middle of 2013, I was feeling a little bit lost in life. I had ambition but no ideas or plans. My cousin asked me if I was up for travelling around Southeast Asia later that year. With nothing else to do, I thought, why not? I could do with a little adventure. I also thought that it could give me some inspiration with what to do with my life. So I saved up around 3k and in November 2023 we set off for a 3-month trip covering Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand and Cambodia. Making a living was the last thing on my mind. I just wanted to live life a little while I had no responsibilities. As you could imagine, those 3 months flew by so fast and many memories were made. I lived amongst the locals, drove around in a moped, got mugged, climbed a mountain and stayed in some very strange places. I also happened to meet my wife in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, where she had her own travel agency. I had to do many trips back and forth to see her. This of course required quite a bit of money which I didn't have, but had to find a way to obtain. I wish I could say that I came back to the UK full of ideas, but the truth was I had a bit of fun and spent all of my money. The only thing I had left was motivation and my part-time delivery job. But this time I was even more determined to find a way to break free from a life of being constantly broke. I clearly remember that I had two choices in my head: try to make more money online or get a 9 to 5 office job, which just the thought of it was dreadful. Needless to say, I chose the first option. I told myself that if my making money online efforts didn't work, I'd go out and get a real job. I really had some previous experience creating websites and doing online marketing, and I had some momentum going with my hypnosis website, which promoted digital products, and each time a sale was made, I'd get a commission. But when I was in Asia, I actually forgot to renew the hosting for that website, and it was down for 3 weeks. That pretty much destroyed the SEO rankings for the site, and it never really recovered. I was only making a few $100s from it, but still, I needed the money. Anyway, the main thing was that the concept of affiliate marketing, which I really felt had potential, the barrier was entry was low, it wasn't oversaturated, and I could freely work from anywhere in the world, as long as there was an internet connection. I mean, how can that not be appealing when faced with the other option? So the next thing to decide was what kind of website I was going to create next. So Amazon has an affiliate program called Amazon Associates, where anyone who gets accepted into their program can set up a website, promote the products on Amazon, and receive a commission each time a sale is made. Many other online retailers also have their own affiliate program, such as eBay and Walmart, but back then Amazon was the most well known and had the best commission rates. Their commission structure was tiered, so the more revenue you generated for them, the better rate you'd get. So I decided I was going to create niche websites promoting Amazon products, my first one being about handheld vacuums. I whacked it up in around 2 to 3 weeks, and I had blog posts and tables that promoted the best handheld vacuums. Now, creating the websites was the easy part. The hard part was figuring out how to quickly get highly targeted visitors to my website. I didn't want to wait around for SEO to do its thing. That could take months. Well, it turned out the hard part wasn't so hard after all. I just thought, why not pay for the traffic from Google AdWords, where I could essentially target the thousands of people already searching for handheld vacuums. Of course, I didn't know if my commissions would cover the cost of the ads, but it was definitely worth a try. It was the best thing I ever did because I ended up getting loads of clicks for as little as 1 cent per click. That means I was able to get hundreds of people to my website every day, and each one of them were potential customers. Almost immediately, I started making sales and I saw the commissions rack up in my Amazon Associates account. I think at the time, I was getting paid 6% on each sale, so a $50 sale would bank me $3 in commission, and that commission was based on total purchases a customer made within a 24-hour period. So if they also happened to buy toilet rolls with their vacuum, I'd get a commission for that too. It was immensely profitable and so scalable too. I just ramped up my ad spend to get more traffic and more sales. After just 3 months, my handheld vacuum website was already generating close to $1,000 in commissions on only $300 ad spend. This would only increase in the following months. I knew I was onto something. It all just clicked so easily, and I knew I had to strike when the iron was hot. Because of this newfound epiphany, I was really excited but also anxious at the same time. I was worried that more and more online marketers would discover this too, and it was only a matter of time before the well runs dry. I guess this concern was a good thing because it made me go into overdrive, and I began duplicating the same concept for different niches. Steam irons, steam mops, briefcases, boxing gear, DAB radios, and loads of others. I had separate websites catered towards the US, UK and Canadian visitors, and the commissions were racking up in all 3 of my Amazon Associates accounts. From the end of 2014 to the beginning of 2017, I was consistently making between £7,000 to £18,000 in profit every month collectively from all of my websites. Much of it was on autopilot too. After the websites were set up, I really didn't have to do much except to update them here and there. I want to say that I might have been one of the biggest one-man band Amazon Associates in the UK, but that might be a little bit far-fetched. I'm not sure, but I was big enough to get noticed by Amazon's management in London, who I had met with a few times to discuss plans relating to my websites. Anyway, the income from this business venture allowed me to travel back and forth to Asia to spend time with my now wife, get married and buy a house. But I knew the good times, at least concerning my business, wouldn't last. During some time in 2016, Amazon began making some drastic changes to their commission structure. I clearly remember waking up one morning. My brother, who was also doing the Amazon Associates thing, woke me up in a panic, saying something about Amazon cutting their commission rates. I was so tired that I told him to get out and I went back to sleep. But I couldn't go back to sleep since I was slowly beginning to realise what he was trying to tell me. I got up, checked my emails, and sure enough, I saw an email from Amazon detailing the changes in their commission rates. I can't remember the details exactly, but it was significant. It was obvious, the writing was on the wall. At some point down the line, the well would eventually run dry. Even though I would continue making thousands in profit every month, all the way up until the end of 2020, mentally I was already getting ready to exit the business and plan my next move. After I came to the realization that Amazon would just continue to cut their commission rates, since they no longer needed affiliates to promote their products, I set about opening a different type of business. By this point, I had even more experience and capital, so I and a friend decided to open up an e-commerce store, one that's still running to this day. I wasn't completely new to e-commerce because I did have a mildly successful small e-commerce business more than 10 years ago, but I sold that to fund a business that distributed unique household products from Japan. The products were amazing and I had some success selling to some well-known retailers, but ultimately it was just too slow, so I packed it in and moved to Cambodia for 6 months. So from 2017 until now, I had a few other e-commerce stores and business ventures, all of which ultimately failed. Nothing would even come close to the heights I had reached with my affiliate marketing business, which I completely stopped working on around the beginning of 2020. There was just no point and it was no longer worth the effort. So once again, I was feeling lost and dejected. I had savings but virtually no income, and I still had a mortgage and bills to pay. I toyed with the idea of getting a job just to have some income and to make use of all the free time I had, but I was finding it really tough to get motivated for it. When you're used to making tens of thousands every month on autopilot with the freedom to travel around the world, it's kind of hard to get up for a regular job. So for just under a year, I did a bit of reselling, buying things from boot sales and charity shops and reselling them online. The money wasn't anything to get excited about, but at least I was adding to my pot of savings. My goal really was to find a way to replace what I once had, a business that was easily scalable, allows you to work from anywhere and doesn't take up all of your time. I found stock trading to be the perfect fit for that criteria, and the more I thought about it, the more I fell in love with the idea. I was going to become a stock trader. I wasn't a complete newbie to stocks because in 2018 I began investing in a bunch of high growth companies based in the UK. Unfortunately, that didn't go too well and I was forced to sell. I lost thousands. It wouldn't be until just after the COVID crash of 2020 when I officially began trading stocks, specifically scalping momentum moves. That was certainly a crazy time to trade. There was just so much volatility in the markets. But anyway, my journey of investing and trading stocks will be explained in other videos. This one I just wanted to share with you why I haven't had the job in the past 10 years. And to be honest, I probably won't ever have another one unless I absolutely have to. It's my last resort. I have a family now, so I have to be financially responsible. But at the same time, I don't think anyone should deny themselves of their passion and goals in life. That's one of the major reasons why we moved back to my parents' house, so that I could continue trading stocks without having the financial burden of a mortgage and bills to pay. Now, I know it might sound silly to some, but to me it was a logical and strategic move to get to the next level. My family understood this and was fine with it, even though, like most people, we do value our own space and independence, but sacrifices had to be made. So here I am, 4 years later from when I first began trading stocks, and I'm still going. I haven't given up and I won't give up. I've gone from constantly losing to breaking even, and now I've been profitable since the end of last year. I'm still very far from my goals. There's still a huge mountain to climb, but at least I have a vision to work towards and I'm making steady progress. I'm taking it one step at a time. When I look back at the past 10 to 15 years, so many things have happened, some bad but mostly good. It's like my life went from riding a bicycle to riding a motorbike. The time just whizzed by. And I'd say that the turning point was when I met my wife and then shortly after discovering a really profitable business model. Now some might say I was lucky and fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time, but saying that to anyone who has worked hard for what they have is just discrediting. Opportunities are only given to those who never give up looking for them, and I was always looking for the next opportunity. So if you're an ambitious person that's feeling a bit lost in life, my advice to you would be, first of all, relax. Don't allow yourself to be pressured into following social norms, because at the end of the day, you have to understand who you are as a person. The more honest you are with yourself, the better you can express yourself in your personal and professional life. Do what you have to do to free your mind, whether it's traveling, reading books, or playing sports. An open mind is easier to spot opportunities. Secondly, don't rush. Everyone works at their own pace, so don't feel like you're behind just because all of your peers are appearing to be doing better than you. Get off social media, because that's just a massive distraction and it doesn't really reflect what the real world is actually like. Lastly, don't give up on your dreams. The moment you begin settling for less, it's over. If your dream is to be your own boss and have a successful business, it's not going to happen if in your mind you make hundreds of excuses why it's not possible. That will manifest itself in real life, and the next thing you know, you're in your 50s, still stuck in the office cubicle with the life beaten out of you. So when you have a desire to do something, the most important thing is to take action, no matter how small. Even if it's just registering a website name, attending a business event, or buying some product samples. These small actions have a huge impact psychologically and will lead you to discover new things you otherwise wouldn't have discovered had you just done nothing. I went through so many failed ideas before I finally found one that changed my life. After every failure, I had to reset, start fresh, but with more experience than the last time. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but at least give yourself a fighting chance and don't do what most people do. Give up far too soon on their dreams and they'd be miserable for the rest of their lives. Because you never know, a life-changing opportunity might just be right around the corner, but you'd have to be there to find it. If you found this video useful, just give me a like and subscribe and leave your comment below and let me know what kind of video you'd like to see next.